The year is 2026, and the crypto world is witnessing the battle of the titans. Not Bitcoin versus Ethereum, but a new war being fought on a different layer. This is the battle for scaling supremacy, and the core question on everyone's mind is, can Bitcoin as explosive new Layer 2 ecosystem finally challenge Ethereum as long-standing dominance? For years, Layer 2 South, or L2 South, have been the holy grail of blockchain scaling. They're essentially express lanes built on top of the main blockchain, like Ethereum or Bitcoin, designed to make transactions faster and cheaper without sacrificing the security of the main network. Think of the main chain as a super secure vault, and L2S as the high-speed armored trucks moving assets around, settling the final balance in the vault only when needed. For crypto to reach billions of users, L2 South aren't just a nice-to-have. They are absolutely essential. And in 2026, the game is changing faster than ever. Let's first look at the reigning champion, Ethereum. By 2026, the Ethereum L2 landscape isn't just a collection of separate islands anymore. The superchain vision, pioneered by networks like Optimism and embraced by giants like Arbitrum and Coinbase's Base, has become a reality. These once distinct networks now form a seamless, interoperable web. You can move assets and interact with apps across these chains almost instantly, with shared infrastructure making the experience feel like using a single unified network. It's a cohesive ecosystem that has solved many of the early fragmentation issues. And then there's the ZK revolution. Zero-knowledge proofs have gone from a theoretical marvel to a practical powerhouse. In 2026, a significant portion of Ethereum's L2 activity, we're talking at least 10% of the entire network traffic, is settled using ZK rollups. This technology bundles thousands of transactions off-chain and generates a single, tiny cryptographic proof to validate them on the mainnet. The result? Mind-boggling speeds. We're seeing networks demonstrate a potential for over 10,000 transactions per second, making Ethereum applications feel as snappy as their Web 2 counterparts. This advanced infrastructure has solidified Ethereum's position as the DeFi king. Major financial institutions haven't just dipped their toes in, they've dived in. They rely on Ethereum's robust L2 South for everything from tokenized assets to complex derivatives because of its proven security, massive liquidity, and vibrant developer community. The network effects are undeniable. However, it's not all smooth sailing. The superchain's interoperability still faces challenges. While improved, moving between different rollup families can be complex, and the persistent issue of sequencer centralization remains a hot topic. Sequencers are the entities that order and batch transactions on L2S, and most are still run by single centralized parties. This creates a potential point of failure and censorship, a problem the Ethereum community is actively working to solve with decentralized sequencer solutions. But it's a marathon, not a sprint. Now, let's turn our attention to the challenger, Bitcoin. For the longest time, scaling Bitcoin meant one thing: the Lightning Network, a brilliant solution for fast, cheap payments. But in 2026, the narrative has dramatically expanded. We're witnessing an explosion of new Bitcoin L2 South, bringing smart contract functionality to the world's most secure blockchain. Projects that were once concepts are now thriving ecosystems. Stacks has matured, offering a decentralized way to build apps and smart contracts that settle on Bitcoin. Rootstock has solidified its position as an EVM-compatible cytokine, allowing Ethereum developers to easily migrate their applications to the Bitcoin ecosystem. And then there's the groundbreaking concept of BITVM, which has unlocked the potential for Turing-complete smart contracts on Bitcoin without any changes to the core protocol. These new generation rollups and cytokines are doing something revolutionary. They are unlocking the over $1 trillion of lazy capital sitting on the Bitcoin network. For the first time, Bitcoin holders can use their BTC in sophisticated DeFi applications lending, borrowing, yield farming, without ever leaving the Bitcoin ecosystem. This is a monumental shift, bringing the power of smart contracts to the most secure, most decentralized, and most valuable digital asset in the world. The key selling point for these Bitcoin L2 South is their security model. They anchor themselves to the immense power of Bitcoin's proof-of-work network. Every transaction, every smart contract execution on these L2 South ultimately inherits the finality and censorship resistance of the most powerful computing network in human history. This is an incredibly compelling argument, especially for high-value transactions and long-term asset settlement. But the rise of Bitcoin L2S isn't without its hurdles. The technical complexity is significant. Building these systems on top of Bitcoin, as intentionally rigid and simple base layer, is a far greater engineering challenge than building on Ethereum's flexible, smart contract native foundation. Furthermore, there's a cultural shift that needs to happen. The Bitcoin community has historically been very conservative, prioritizing security and decentralization above all else. Convincing this community that complex L2 South don't compromise Bitcoin's core principles is an ongoing dialogue. So let's put them head-to-head in 2026. When it comes to security versus flexibility, it's a classic trade-off. Bitcoin offers a rock-solid, unchangeable foundation, making its L2S an ideal settlement layer for things that absolutely cannot fail. Ethereum, on the other hand, boasts agile innovation. Its flexible architecture allows developers to experiment and deploy new applications at a blistering pace, fostering a more dynamic and creative environment. In the arena of ecosystem and liquidity, Ethereum has a massive head start. Years of development have resulted in a sprawling ecosystem of decentralized applications, developer tools, and trillions of dollars in on-chain value. Bitcoin is the challenger here, with a colossal amount of untapped wealth. The question is how quickly and effectively its L2 South can build out their own ecosystems to attract that liquidity and a new wave of developers. What about the user experience? In 2026, the UX on both ecosystems has improved dramatically. Thanks to L2 South, gas fees are no longer the primary concern for everyday users. Both networks offer near-instant transactions for a few cents. The main friction point remains cross-chain interactions. While Ethereum Superchain has made inter-L2 movement easier within its own ecosystem, moving value between a Bitcoin L2 and an Ethereum L2 still involves bridges, which carry their own risks and complexities. Finally, let's consider the core use cases. Bitcoin L2S are finding their killer app in payments and as a final, ultra-secure settlement layer for large institutional value. Its brand as digital gold makes it the natural home for long-term store of value applications. Ethereum L2 seconds, however, continue to dominate the world of complex financial Legos. Decentralized exchanges, lending protocols, derivatives, and the entire universe of DeFi thrives on Ethereum's expressive smart contract capabilities. So after all that, which network wins the L2 war of 2026? The most likely answer is neither, and both. This isn't a zero-sum game. The future is one of coexistence, where each ecosystem specializes in what it does best. For the average retail user just looking to swap tokens, mint an NFT, or play a blockchain game, Ethereum's ecosystem, particularly through user-friendly gateways like Base, will likely remain the winner. Its ease of use and vast application library are simply unmatched for everyday activities. For institutions, hedge funds, and nation-states looking to settle billions of dollars or store wealth for the next century, Bitcoin's L2 South will be the clear victor. The unparalleled security of the Bitcoin base layer provides a guarantee that no other network can offer for long-term high-value settlement. And we can't forget the dark horse factors. Regulation will play a huge role. How governments classify and regulate these assets and their L2 South could dramatically shift the balance of power. And then there's AI. The integration of AI agents as autonomous economic actors on-chain could favor one platform over another, creating entirely new use cases we can barely imagine today. In the end, the L2 wars of 2026 are not about one chain destroying the other. It's about the maturation of the entire crypto space. We have two incredible, competing, yet complementary ecosystems pushing each other to be faster, cheaper, and more secure. The real winner is the user, who now has more choice than ever before. The future of decentralized finance is not a monopoly. It's a vibrant, multi-chain metropolis. So, that's my take on the state of scaling in 2026. But I want to know what you think. Which side are you on? Team Bitcoin security or Team Ethereum's flexibility? Let me know your thoughts in the comments below. Thanks for watching, and don't forget to like and subscribe for more deep dives into the future of crypto.